Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. And today we're doing still a one surface lesson and maybe a little bit on the drum set. Okay, so tonight's lesson is going to be really, really good. What I'm doing is, hey, what I'm doing is I have permutations of some sticking patterns, and we're turning it into funk, and that will be more or less for advanced students. So if you feel that you're up to that and advanced, come on back tonight at 8:30 p.m. So I decided to make my 1 p.m. lessons on one surface. And today we're working with Joe Morello's, I call it Joe Morello's Table of Time because it comes from the Joe Morello book. Also, there is an additional book that I work from by Dave Stanek, and that's Mastering the Tables of Time. He starts with a whole note and breaks it down to the half note, to the quarter note, to the quarter note triplet, to the eighth note, up to groups of 12, and then he regresses back to the quarter note. Whereas Joe Morello's book just takes quarter notes, quarter note triplets, eighth note triplets, 16s, groupings of 5, and groupings of 6. How many guys in here have worked on that or don't have a problem understanding one of the lines or any of the lines at all? I would just step forward and say hello and can I do line 5 or 4 or whatever, which we will do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain the table of time. And I'm going to do it slow without a metronome at first, then with a metronome. Okay, so if you have the book open, or if you don't have the book, I have the PDF on this up to groups of 6, and I'll send it to you. Let me put my email in here if you'd like to have the PDF. So if you'd like to have the PDF, email me. Okay, so we go to the first line. In the first line is just one line of quarter notes. And he has an accent on each quarter note. So that's telling me I'm going to do a full stroke and I'm going to use an alternating stroke. And today I am demonstrating this with an alternate stroke as opposed to, say, doing it as doubles or single paradiddles or whatever sticking pattern I would like to do. So we're going to do just alternate strokes. And I'm going to start with my right hand. And I'm going to do a line of quarter notes a couple times. And that's the first line of Master Studies Table of Time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now notice my right side and my left side I try to make them as equal in sound as possible. Listen to it again. Quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All accents. So that takes care of the first line of quarter notes. The second line is quarter note triplets. Now, for those who don't understand quarter note triplets, it's all mathematical, and you see 6 quarter note triplets in that line. Now, there's a couple different ways to count this. I count my triplets, again, eighth note triplets, 1 enda, 2 enda, 3 enda, 4 enda, because I need to count eighth note triplets here, and play quarter note triplets. I'm going to play every other note. Other guys sometimes count their triplet as 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Or 1 ta-ta, 2 ta-ta, 3 ta-ta, 4 ta-ta. Those are not wrong, but I don't like them because actually I'm so accustomed to 1 enda, 2 enda, 3 enda, 4 enda, and it works for me fine. So I'm going to break it down. I'm going to do line 2, all accented notes. Now remember, I'm playing 1 and the, 2 and the, 3 and the, 4 and the. Now there's the math that you have a bracket on the quarter note triplet. So whether you go from here or you go to Iraq or China or Alaska, a quarter note is equal to 2 eighth notes. So here's the first 2 eighth notes of that particular quarter note with the bracket. 1 and. Then you have the, 2 and the, 3 and the, 4 and the. So in time, here we go. 1 and the, 2 and the, 3 and the, 4 and the. So what it is actually 3 against 2 or 6 against 4 in that realm. Okay, so now I'm going to play line 1 and line 2. I'm going to play line 1, 2 measures, all accents, and I'm going to go directly into line number 2 and play that 2 times and then stop. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and the, 2 and the, 3 and the, 4 and the. I should have played it one more time, but that's okay. So that's the first 2 lines. Now the third line is straight eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, the way it's presented in the book is 1 accent on the downbeat and a non-accent on the ands. I don't particularly care for that, so what I do for myself is play line 3, all accents. So now I'm going to count eighth notes and play line 3. Nice and slow. I'll play it twice. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 again and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So now we have quarter notes, quarter note triplets, and then eighth notes. Here we go. Starting with the quarter notes. 1, 2, 3. Play it twice. 4. 1, 2, 3. Triplets. 1 and the, 2 and the, 3 and the, 4 and the, 1 and the, 2 and the, 3 and the, 4 and the, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, all the notes, quarter note triplets, and eighth notes, I tried to make sound all the same. Now, when I get to the next line, which is line 4, it's an eighth note triplet. And now I tag the accent on the triplet, the downbeat of the triplet. So what comes into view now is the level system or control strokes. It's going to be a downstroke, an upstroke, a tap. Let me just demonstrate right-handed. Downstroke, upstroke, tap. Let me do that again. Downstroke, upstroke, tap. So I have 2 different sounds in that triplet. I have an accented note and a non-accented note. Okay, here we go. I'm going to play the line twice. And I'm counting 1 and the, 2 and the, 3 and the, 4 and the. 1 and the, 2 and the, 3 and the, 4 and the, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now let me play from line 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here we go. 1, quarter notes, 2, 3, 4. Twice I'm playing it. 2, 3, next line, 4. 1 and the, 2 and the, 3 and 4 and the, 1 and the, 2 and the, 3 and the, 4 and the, 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2. Levels. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we all understand it so far before I go any further? That's quarter note triplets, eighth notes, and eighth note triplets. Any questions? If not, I'll go to the next line. All right, so the next line is a grouping of 4 notes. That's 16th notes. And it's referred to as a quartuplet or whatever you want to call it. It's a grouping of 4 notes, the 16th notes. It has an accent on the downbeat, and the other 3 notes of the 16ths are non-accented. 1, E, and the. But look at the position I'm in. I come down to make the accent. 1, E, and the. Simple. Again, 1, E, and the. 2, E, and the. 3, E, and the. 4, E, and the. Nice and slow. All right, I'm going to play from line 1 to the 16ths. 1, 2, without the metronome. It's for demonstration. 2, 3 quarter note triplets. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 2 and 3 and the 4 and the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 triplets, 4 levels. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. I forgot the 16th. Oh boy, Matt. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the bop. Okay, so now that takes care of the grouping of 4. Now we're going to go to the grouping of 5. And a lot of people misunderstand this. I get students coming in and I ask them to play and they go, that's not what it is. What you need to do is have 5 strokes equal distant between the quarter note. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bop. Okay, so now that takes care up to the groupings of 5. The 6. Now, there's a lot of counting going on with the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I break that counting down in 2 different ways. I can. As 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and, or 1 and the 2 and the 1 and the 2 and the 1 and the 2 and the 1 and the 2 and the. I prefer to use 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Before I get to the 6s, do we all understand the grouping of 5? Yes? No? No response. I guess you do. Okay, the grouping of 6, I'm going to count 1 and 2 and 3 in. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. 1. Notice I continue with the levels. Now, I'm going to play from the first line to groupings of 6. Let's try, we'll start at 60 and we'll build it up. Now, the tick or the click is going to be the quarter note. So, could hear that, gentlemen? That's my pulse. That's 1, 2, 3. Line 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Line 2. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and 1. That's the eighth notes. Triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 16ths. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3. 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 6. 1, 1, 1, but. Now, that's at 60. If you'd like, you get up the tempo. I just recommend 60 to start off with. First, without the metronome, become familiar with the lines. Work them out. It's best to play the bass drum or your right foot, if you don't have the drum set, on straight 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the one thing that you need to remember, the first odd grouping well, it's not the first odd grouping, but the groupings of 5. You need to get 5 strokes equal distant between the quarter note. All right, so let's up the tempo somewhat. Let's go to 72 to see what happens with that. No, at first, I don't want to teach anything beyond the groups of 6. So here we go. That's 72 now. It's a little faster. My sticks might get a little lower because of the speeds up there. So 1, 2, 3, zap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Second line. 1 and the 2 and the 3. Triplets. Sixteenths. Fives. Six. Back. So on and so forth. What I'll do, whatever tempo it might be, when it gets to the grouping of 6, I have 2 options here. I could reverse it, go back to the 5s, the 4s, the 3s, to the 2s, then to the quarter note triplet, and then to the quarter notes and come back down again. What I like to do is start from the beginning when I finish the 6s. I don't want to teach the 7s, 8s, 9s, or 10s. But if you'd like me to, say yes in the chat. It's the same concept, but a lot more stroking. You know, you have 6 strokes to the quarter note. If you're doing groupings of 5, equal distant 5 notes to the quarter note. Groupings of 6 strokes to the quarter note. 7, you have 7 strokes. Now, when I work with the 7s, I change my count on the 7. 7 being 2 syllables. I keep it as sev, so it makes it 1 syllable. And what that does, it doesn't disrupt the flow. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then the 8s, I just double up on the groupings of 4. The 9s, I count as triplets. For each triplet, I do 3 strokes. And for the 10s, I double up on the 5s. The 11s still give me problems. It's just more of a feel, and it's very difficult to count. And the 12s, well, again, I go to the triplet, and each count of the triplet is 4 strokes. That gives me 12. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and the 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and. Now, I did say in the beginning of the lesson, other than one surface, I'd like to do a drum set application with this. It's more or less a polyrhythmic kind of pattern. We're going to do 1 against 2, against 3, against 4. So, We're going to make the bass drum the quarter note. And the other sticks. The bass drum is going to be the quarter note. 3, 4. I skip the second line, the quarter note triplet, and I go to the eighth note. The eighth note is going to be the left foot. So I have. And then I make the 3, the snare drum with the left hand. While this is going on. And I make the 4, the floor tom-tom. So I put it together. Sorry, it's been 100 years. Wait, give me a break here. There you go. We understand that? Want me to break it down somewhat? Now tonight at 8:30, I'm assuming right now there's no questions. And tonight at 8:30, I took a sticking pattern and did all the permutations on a sticking pattern. And took the first permutation and I made it funk. And then I'm going to take the second one and the third one, the lesson after tonight. My lesson tonight is at 8:30 p.m. on this channel. It's going to be a long, long lesson tonight. This afternoon I have to cut it down a little bit. So before I close up, any questions? Hello? Any questions, gentlemen? Ladies? Going once? Going twice? Going 3 times? Okay, no questions. Have a good rest of the day, gentlemen. Please come back tonight if you'd like. Have a good day.